From 5 games in the NRL to 7 this week, let's get picking who we think is going to win and who might not do so well. But first, how do we do in round 12? It's not something I want to talk about, to be honest. So Thursday was Dogs versus Dolphins, and the Bulldogs got their second loss of the season in what was a real shock, especially the scoreline. It was 8-44, and wow. Yeah, weird. Just weird. I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. Bulldogs, maybe they're having a bit of a rest last week, and they'll come good again. A real shock, which does bring Raiders now level on points. Bulldogs still have 1 game in hand, though. So I get absolutely nothing because I did Dogs to win by 18. They lost by 36. Wow. Next game was Eels versus Sea Eagles, and you all laughed at me. You laughed at me when I did the Eels to win. I predicted a win was coming soon. A win was coming soon. I did Eels to win by 10. They actually won by 20 against the Sea Eagles. A really good performance, and this I just seen little glimpses of this from Eels coming. And they did it. They did it. So I'm impressed with them. So well done to the Eels. Less so for the Sea Eagles, who are, right in the slap bang in the middle. I get nothing. Oh, no, I get 1 point, sorry. Next, once again, Panthers. Oh, God. How can you go from finishing second, being the champions of the NRL, to now being second bottom? They've got no excuse. I'm sorry. There is no excuse for it now. Panthers, I did to win by 18 against a struggling Knights team. Well, Knights won by 19. So, yeah. The problem is people will keep picking Panthers because of who they are. But they are not going to make it 5 in a row, are they, at this rate? No way. They literally need a miracle now. A miracle. So nothing for that one. Then Roosters versus Sharks, and I went Sharks. Roosters won. It's another pretty much blowout. Sharks I did by 18, and Roosters won by 26. This is Roosters now up to 10th. So what I was thinking was when Panthers managed to beat Roosters, that was that turning point, and it's gone the opposite way. It has gone the opposite way. Roosters are now in prime position to try and get the top 8 spot again. Just not good. Really not good from Sharks there, who are still in 4th place, but they've teams below them with games in hand, so they could slip. And the last game was Warriors versus Raiders, and I was pretty confident. I know Raiders are second, and I know Warriors were third, but I was pretty confident with a Warriors win. While they were at home. It did not happen, and congratulations, a fairly tight game, won by 6 points by Raiders. Right, let's see how everyone is getting on after round 12 on the leaderboard. And as you can see, Brother Man with the golden hat is up to position 1. Well done, up 2 spaces there. Now, just under 1 point lead. Hacksaw, St. Jai both down 1, with Kev Midori in 4th and 5th. Brupel up 1 into 6th. Benjamin down 1 into 7th. And New Elijah up 4 into the top 10 into 8th. And Marty up 1 into 9th, and Mighty Muffins is down to 10th. Let's see how everyone else is doing. Any big movers? Mr. Grumpy up 7, not bad. Rymeister up 6, also not bad, with Adelaide Bulldog down 5, Aaron down 4. We've got Moppy G up 5. The Wooden Spoon, though, only down 3 places. The Wooden Spoon goes to Magpie Paulie. Wow, that's not a great fall from grace, but the Wooden Spoon goes to you. And where am I? I'm literally still in 39th place. Literally still in 39th place. I'm just barely moving. And if most weeks I'm not moving, I just got to get off this. I've got to get off this. Okay, let's see anyone else at the end. There we go. On to this week then, and we start on Friday the 30th in Strata Jubilee Stadium in Sydney. Dragons versus Knights. Well, neither of them are doing very well. Sat in 13th and 14th, same amount of points. Dragons do have 1 game in hand. Dragons do have a pretty strong record at the Jubilee Stadium, so that's one benefit for them there. Whereas Knights, they're missing key players such as Bradman Best and Jacob Safiti due to injury. You've got Christian Tipolotu. He does return from injury, which does boost those Dragons back line. So there's pros and cons for both teams, mostly pros for the Dragons. I think on paper here, Dragons should win, having that home advantage, players back, Knights losing players. I think we've got to go with a Dragons win. So I am going to go with a Dragons win by 8. Try, conversion, and another kick just to secure the win. Next up, Saturday 31st, it is at the Seabus Super Stadium, Titans versus Storm. Storm are slipping. They're now down to 5th. Their form has been very inconsistent over the last 6 weeks at least. They're against a Titans side who, though, are sat bottom of the table. This should only go, on paper, this should only go one way. We've seen how crazy the results in the NRL have been this season, so that means nothing. But Storm, they do welcome back Jack Howarth from shoulder injury. Titans are without David Fafita and Keanu Keeney. I just think quality on paper against a team that is rock bottom, really struggling. They have won 3 games, but Storm should be looking at regaining some form. They haven't lost 2 games in a row so far this season, so I do not see that happening this week. So we're going to go with a Storm win. It's got to be a confident win. It's got to be an 18-point win to Storm. Next up, Queensland Country Bank Stadium, Cowboys versus Wests. Looking at this then, both teams, not amazing recent form. You've got Cowboys who have lost in the last 3, and Wests have obviously lost their last 2. There isn't much, again, 11th and 12th place. There's a lot of games here where teams are back-to-back in the league. But if you look at the research, I've done a lot of research. This is what I'm doing now. It's hard because I'm not in the environment, so I have to do my research, write it down. So Cowboys, they've got a strong home advantage in Townsville for sure. Overall, I think that probably will see them through. Tigers are missing Latu Fainu with a thumb injury. That's probably not what you want when you play rugby. And Galvin as well is out of selection. Cowboys forward pack remains robust despite Jason Tuamololo's absence. I think on paper, look, both teams have shown a little bit of form. But Cowboys, 4 weeks ago, they were on really, really good form. Didn't look like they're going to lose. And just this last 3 has really made them slip. And teams like Roosters improving form has meant the Cowboys have slipped. But I think Cowboys should win here. I don't think it'll be a crazy win. So I'm going to do a Cowboys win by 6. Then 4 Pines is Seagulls versus Broncos. And, right at the start, I said Broncos, they started really well. It looked like they were going to hit the form that saw them in the grand final a couple of years ago. And their form has completely fallen apart. But if you look at it, Seagulls, exactly the same. They look like they were potentially going to be real contenders this year. And that has also completely fallen apart. Seagulls, they're without Tom and Jake Trebojevic, which is a real loss for them. Whereas Broncos, they get Payne Haas and Patrick Carrigan. They're set to return post-Origin. Reece Walsh remains sidelined, but Cobbo is available to cover. This could go either way. It really, really could. Do I go with home advantage of Seagulls, or do I go with the fact that Broncos have shown some good form and I was predicting them to do a little bit better this year? I'm going to go with Broncos. I think this should really be 50-50 on paper at the moment. I'm going to do Broncos by 6. Let's keep it tight. Next game, Accor Stadium, Sunday the 1st, Rabbitohs versus Warriors. The Rabbitohs' form has been inconsistent. They've been up, they've been down. They've shown signs of absolute destruction. They've also shown they can be destroyed badly. They're against a Warriors side who are still sitting in 3rd. They're doing well. Yes, they lost last week, but it was to Raiders who are sitting a place above them. Rabbitohs, they are missing players like Cody Walker and Jack Whiten. Warriors, James Fisher-Harris returns from suspension, which is a real bonus, really bonus. A real bonus that I think they really can capitalise on. I think looking at it, Warriors should win this. They have already shown this year that travelling to Australia hasn't made a huge difference for them. They've still managed to put up those performances even after the travel. So we're going to go with a Rabbitohs win here at Stadium Australia. Warriors win by... Oh, God, what do I do? Warriors win by 18. Screw it. Combank Stadium next, Panthers versus Eels. This is weird because... I've been tipping Eels. Eels have performed now 2 weeks in a row. Previous games, they've shown what they can potentially do. Panthers, what do you say? Bluebet Stadium, or is it Bluebet Stadium? No, they're at Combank, it says here. My stats are wrong. Okay, just bear that in mind. Okay, they're at Combank Stadium in Parramatta, which is... this is weird. Okay, let's just bypass this. Eels apparently have got Will Penasini out and Bailey Simonson out. Panthers' depth and backline compensate for Scott Sorensen's suspension. Look, still, I know form has been so crap for Panthers, but once again, you're almost a fool to not back them because on paper, that doesn't mean anything, but on paper, they are the team. Surely they are the team. Look, screw it. Panthers, they're my team. Panthers by 12. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, last game. This should be a decent one with Roosters really picking up form. Allianz Stadium Australia. Roosters versus Raiders. Roosters are picking up form. They are rising the table, and now there's no reason for them not to make that top 8. Raiders, fantastic form. They have improved since last year, haven't they? Roosters, they've got Radley back. Raiders, they're missing Tom Starling due to suspension. What bloody so many players being suspended. Oh my God, idiots. Roosters do have that home advantage at the Allianz. I don't know. This is difficult. Do you know what? Screw it. I went against Raiders the other week and it didn't work out, but I'm going to go against Raiders again. I think Roosters are finding form. Tight one. Roosters by 6. So my picks: Dragons by 8, Storm by 18, Cowboys by 6, Warriors by 18, Broncos by 6 as well, Panthers by 12, and Roosters by 6. There are some really, really difficult ones again. And it's all a case of, am I going to be on the right side of those difficult games? Who knows? Probably not. But we're all having fun, right? Some fantastic games. Really, really weird results. But there we are. Thank you so much for joining me again. You guys are awesome. Please do make sure you like and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you next week.